Good morning, you guys. How are you? It's Kareem. I'm here with you this morning. I am so glad to be here today, you guys. This is a really fun episode for me because I'm not teaching anything necessarily. I'm just celebrating something. So if you're in America right now, it is Monday night for you. Hope you had a fantastic Monday at work or at home or school or teaching the kids or whatever the hell you're doing. And you've got your cocktails because we're going to celebrate Blackness right now. Today, we got 20 reasons that Black folks should be proud, you guys. And I'm really excited about this because I feel that a lot of times we don't give ourselves enough credit, enough praise, enough love, enough celebration. And a lot of times in the States, I will say this, you guys, American Black education ain't all that. The Black history education is not all that. And of course, the accolades are not all of that. And then plus for Black Americans, you guys, unless you leave the States, as I did numerous times in my lifetime, was blessed to go to the American National School Elementary, you don't realize that Black history does not start in freaking slavery. or in the freaking slave ships. You know, it doesn't start there. Even Roots, you know, my family friends, they're the ones who wrote the Roots saga, the book and the movie, of course. Big shout out to the Haley family. My brother, hope you're watching right now. Senator David Haley in Kansas, you guys. But you guys, that's not where it started. We're not going to go way back there to way back with the pharaohs and Africa and all this stuff. We're not going to go through all that. That's a whole nother episode. But of course, that's where it starts. And to understand how we've done so well as Black Americans, despite slavery and oppression and going on ships and then Jim Crow and racism. And of course, we're still freaking marching in America and Europe right now for Black equal rights, not to be shot by the slave patrols or the police, you guys, not to be shot by the police or the slave patrols. And of course, celebrating the fact that until you leave the country and travel, I think a lot of times we don't see our true value. So you guys, this is brought to our friends over there at outs.us, you guys, where 10 minutes can save you up to 50% or more off your labor costs, and they can do it fast. You guys, Black folks, happy Black History Month. If you are out there, be proud. Whatever you're going through, be proud, because a lot of things you don't hear about the success of Black folks abroad. That's why Black Freedom Magazine's coming out. But more so than that, you guys, you don't really get to feel the excitement of the things that you've accomplished, because when you're in the States, when you're stuck in that stuff, right? When you're stuck in there, you don't really see the value of the things you've done. You don't really see the fact that, don't you remember that your great grandmother couldn't even drink water? I mean, at the water fountain, not drink water, but at the water fountain. Do you guys realize, if you guys are anywhere in the world and you're watching this, Philippines, shout out to you. Africa, shout out to you. America, of course, shout out to you. I've got folks in Europe, shout out to you guys. Do you know that before you couldn't even, after the club, you couldn't even eat at a Waffle House, a Denny's. You couldn't even eat there. You couldn't even, now the companies are pushing diversity and inclusion, but just a few decades back, and I mean like 50, you couldn't even work at that corporation or any corporation like that. And do you realize this too, you guys, that every single corporation that embraced diversity back in the day, whether it's the first Black student, the first Black girl to go to school, to integrate the school system, Kamala Harris was in that whole round of people, right? She was one of those kids when I integrated her area. Every company like the NBA Corporation, and of course, all of them that did it back in the day, now they are the largest companies around. I think Citibank used to, have an insurance for slaves, but now they're huge, right? So if you think about it, Black success in America, you guys have had a lot of impact on the global economy. So I want to go down 20 things with you guys. I've got some visuals I want to show you guys, because I want to showcase and remind us from where we came from. Remember this, you guys. Look at this sort of thing. Remember, there was a time when Blacks weren't even in ads. And now all of a sudden, you guys, this is popping up. And you saw this in the preview when they were saying, hey, at the end of the day, wake up, Black America. You made CocaCola what it is today. And if you don't want to think about that, Black folks, forget Black American folks, Africa. They couldn't drink the water back in the day. So how do you think Coke got so big? They could drink a Coke, though. And Coke was made sure that it was cold. Things like that. They knew how to get folks. Those are corporations that are phenomenal right now. Phenomenal. And then you look at things like this. Let's not forget from whence we came. I want to remind some folks, if you're watching this and you are not Black, I want to remind you in the beginning of the show from where we came from before I tell you why we're proud. Number one, you guys, I've got here for you. You are the descendants, and know this, you guys. Do your history and research. And if you ever get a chance, please go to Africa, you guys. Forget a vacation, forget partying and drinking. That's how they get you. Everybody, for that matter. tourism is great. I get you. Americans, we can go anywhere in the world with an American passport. We don't need really a visa to go anywhere in the world. You land and you get an automatic visa in most places in the world. There's no excuse. Our ancestors fought for us to be citizens of America and to get that damn passport. Use it, because when you get off the plane in Africa and you go visit Egypt, you go visit where Jesus, they say the three wise men walk. You can go to those places, and when you see them, when you go to Egypt, for example, you guys, it's obvious. Those were black folks. I don't care what the hell Hollywood is showing you with King Tut and Nefertiti and all these chariots and crap. When you see them big nose, big lip ass carvings in stone that exist today, it's obviously Negroes. And it changes your mind. You've all heard about Ghana, I'm sure, when they get off the plane and they walk you through where the slave passages went through, and how they break down. And let me tell you this, y'all. I've been to Africa. I was blessed to go to school at the American International School in Lagos, you guys, in Nigeria. When you see it, especially when it comes to the slave ships, you literally have a heart murmur. Literally. There's a connection, a physical connection, an emotional connection that you cannot explain. When you get off of that and you walk through where you knew that these slaves were passed through, going to who knows where the hell they were going. And you see how they lived, and you learn they took kings and queens and architects. It wasn't just Kunta Kintes running around. They took everybody. And of course they wanted the creme de la creme. People with money, people with education, with physiques, hunters. They wanted the best, the strapping. They wanted the big booty girls because they wanted to have those big babies. They knew what they were doing. And then when you look upstairs, it's a church. They prayed upstairs, brought the nigger slaves through the basement to the ships in the front. But anyway, be proud that you came from Africa. You came from kings, queens, and all these people. That needs to be pride. So number 2, you guys, understand this and be proud that you built America, Negroes. Yep, you did. Look back. Why do you think all these hick-ass states are broke right now? Worried about coal mining. Worried about what your black ass is voting for. Why? Because when they freed the slaves and we were free, sort of free, we ain't living in those places no more. We built up other cities. And the cities where black folks went and thrived, including Paris, including England, including Europe, but like California, Chicago, New York, Atlanta, we thrived. And it took all the love, all the strife, all the economy from those other places. That's why they mad now. You built the cotton industry, the hip hop industry, the NBA, and we physically built the White House. If you're watching from the Philippines, you guys checking in, did you know black folks built the White House? Slaves? You didn't know that, did you? That fabulous work? Slaves did that. We did that for free. Think about that. They never show those pictures, right? When you look at the movies, right? They never show the slaves working. Number 3, you guys, you should be proud that you are free at last. Yeah, a lot of black folks different. No, we're not free. We ain't really, no, nigga, you free. You just need to claim it. Be proud that our ancestors, and I don't want to say ancestors, our great-grandparents fought for your black ass to have that ID, that voting registration, that tax ID code, that SSN number you got, the fact that you can go to the State Department like me and so many of us watching my shows and get a fucking LLC. That is what you should be proud of. You need to claim the freedom. Freedom means you can leave America now. Before you couldn't even leave the plantation. Now you don't want to leave the American plantation. Now you don't want to, and if you do go somewhere, $61 billion worth of freaking travel market for black Americans. So we are exiting, we are leaving. But you know what we don't have? How many black folks have companies abroad, investments abroad, things like that? How many black folks have vacation homes in another state, another city, another country? That's where we're not free. So we're free. You just need to claim it. And once you claim it, I'm telling you, the freedom, the taste of it is so addicting, you will never be the same again. I promise you, I'm experiencing it. Number 4, from slavery to one of the wealthiest people on earth. Okay, y'all, I know you're gonna believe me, but I got the pictures for your ass. I knew you wouldn't believe me, so I got some collaterals. Look at this. This is what I want to show you. 15th wealthiest nation in the world is the nation of black folks in America. I didn't include Africa, y'all. 15. And this document is 10 pages. It just goes on and on and on and on forever. This is the top 15 that we would be. This is why folks are getting y'all's money. This is why folks want black American market. This is why folks sitting up here wanting to have black folks to do different things. Black Americans, look at this. Understand, you can Google yourself and be proud of that. We went from slavery, from nothing literally, to being one of the wealthiest communities, nations on earth. And remember, these white folks love all these places. They love Norway. They love all these white nations, y'all. They love all this stuff, y'all. South Korea, Indonesia, Denmark, Ghana, Saudi Arabia, you guys, Austria, Norway, South Africa, Nigeria, right? Arabia. All these places you hear about, unless they're in that top 15, we make more money than the entire nation that they have collectively, because as I said, we are richer together. Number 5 here, you guys, is you got the Negro History Week turned into a month. You realize that it started off as a Negro History Week. Then in 1976, President Gerald Ford, the quote I read earlier, made it into a month, a national month. In February, even though it's the shortest month of the year, they did that because of Washington's birthday. It started in 1916 by Carter G. Woodson, you guys. He had a partner as well, but it started by him in 1916. So be proud that you guys, that we've turned that week, we turned nothing into a week. No one did it for us. And if you guys are Filipino or foreigners looking here, understand that fact. No one gave us anything. We took it, okay? We took it. We created nothing into a week. We, black media, black schools, black educators, black innovators, black influencers, right? Then we turned that, along with the president who signed the paper, we turned it into a month. And remember, now we want to do we black all year long. Okay, great. Let's keep moving it forward. But then the day, be proud that you did that. And now it's recognized all over the world. Let me tell you this too, you guys, with the whole economy thing. This is actually number 6, you guys. We turned that burnt down remember they burned down Black Wall Street. Remember all those history. We all know the history of how terrible it is. They burned it all down. The world knows our history. But you know what they don't really understand? All that did was inspire us. All that did was make us want it even more. And we turned that into the 15th wealthiest nation of people on earth. Forget Black Wall Street. All of us are Black Wall Street now. Be proud of that. Understand what that means. We're richer together. I don't care whether you're in the hood living off, welfare and doing sidelines, or whether you're some rich ass, bougie ass, 6-figure black person working in corporate America, or a celebrity. We are richer together. And as long as we are separate, that's the killer. Once we realize our economic GDP, economic influence, power, and remember, the money that we make is number 15. But understand this, you wouldn't have a job if you didn't make money for the company. So the economic power is 50, 100 times more than what you make at your job. So if we're a $4 trillion annual market of consumers, you can believe we're 50, 100 trillion economic value, meaning the work that we do, not the things that we buy. Because if black folks understood, stop buying their crap. You heard MLK say it. The power that we have is we don't have to buy your crap no more. So if you stopped buying, don't do it now. We're not mad at them anymore. And they're one of my sponsors. So if we stop buying Coke, if we stop buying Hometown, shout out to Wonder Bread in Kansas City, they've all fixed it now. Coke is cool. Wonder Bread, they fixed that crap. Hearth Bread, they fixed it too. Aunt Jemima, they fixing it. But understand the value is in you not buying, because then you keep your money and then you put it somewhere else. And the other value is eventually why these corporations want you to work for them is because you bring inherent value besides your paycheck. Your paycheck is for you and for the government who gets the tax money. The economic impact you make on the company, like LeBron James, Julius mentioned. Yeah, he makes hundreds of millions, but he also has businesses, investments. And what does he make for the NBA? Like, what do they actually make? That's the power that the other countries are wanting. They want the economic power. They realize if we got 25 niggas to work at our company and push our marketing department, we could do X, Y, Z. They're realizing that slowly, because when we kneeled in the NBA, the whole world saw it. Number 7, you guys, Black History Month is recognized, by the way, you guys. This is an accomplishment because it didn't happen until 1995. So I put this here for you to be proud of. In 1995, MP Jean Augustine, right? She got this recognized in Canada. So Black History Month is recognized in Canada in 1995. But that's not it, you guys. Ireland, the Netherlands, and the UK. Be proud of that. That's why when Black Lives Matter, when that crap happened, they rose up. Because remember, black folks, we are not the majority in America. But when it comes to pop culture, hip hop culture, current events, all that, we suck up the oxygen. The whole world shamed America for that crap that they were doing to black folks and that are still doing. By the way, number 8, you guys, to a 4 trillion annual buying power, I've said it, and 50 to 100 trillion in economic power. Be proud of that. And understand what the hell it is too, people. It's Black History Month, you guys. Understand that right now, this is a big deal for us. Big deal for us. We need to understand what 4 trillion annually means. And if we stop giving them all of our money and we start diversifying it and investing it over here, remember, not just education, not just stocks and bonds. To be honest, I love the Black financial advisors. I love the Black news shows, but I really do personally feel, whether it's Roland Martin, whether it's the Black Collective, but I hate that they don't show us global things. That's why I really am supporting Black Freedom Magazine and what they're trying to present. And they're now doing the beta test also, you guys, and doing the test of the covers and the fonts and things like that. What they're going to push, who they're going to showcase. But understand this, you guys. We need to also understand, the same as whites do, you guys, that the dollar is much bigger outside the States. I know whites that are mediocre at best in America, but then abroad, they're ballers. Number 9, you guys, and we're going to go to a break here in just a second, you guys. Number 9, you got civil rights, people. Be proud. Our family, they fought for this, and we have them now. We're arguing over how many, which ones, and how are they going to be respected. But we have civil rights. Be proud of that. And understand, the bad thing is, why do we have to have all these laws? Why are there laws in place to keep you from fucking over Negroes? I don't understand that. But we got them. We got it. So we're protected. And understand, that was a feat. And because we got it, Mexicans got it, Asians got it, Filipinos got it, women got it. So if you're watching this and you're not Black, understand, America, you couldn't eat at the damn Pancake House either, boo. You couldn't vote either. You couldn't have a credit card either. You couldn't buy a house either. You couldn't marry a white girl either. We paved the way for all that. Be proud of that, Black folks. And then, of course, you got education. You know that back in the day, it was illegal to teach a nigga how to read. We were privately and illegally teaching each other how to read and write. So if you're around the world, you're watching this, understand, LeBron James, all these Black folks you guys love, learn English. It's a global language. It's not an American language. If you talk to any of my partners who are from England, American English is trash. So we ruined the language to them. But learn it. It's an asset. It's a skill, because we didn't know it when we were taken as slaves. We learned it. Now we have poets. We're rappers. We can write contracts. We're attorneys. We're IT. So be proud that niggas, we got educated now. Number 11 is the Black vets. If you remember now, Buffalo Soldiers and all those guys back in the day, remember Muhammad Ali wouldn't fight, all of those things. That was a big deal. We didn't have any equal opportunity. We didn't have any of that. You came back from the military, from fighting across the world, killing folks in the name of America. And then all of a sudden, you had no rights back home. You couldn't get a home. There was no GI Bill for us. And a lot of white folks wonder, why do Black folks not get ahead? We didn't have the GI Bill. We didn't have home loans. They redlined us. My family had homes. Our historical home in Kansas City was an historical home in a red line district that niggas couldn't live in before. So we were the first Black folks on that area. And if you guys are in Kansas City, you know that. We were walking distance from the Kansas City Zoo. So at the end of the day, you guys, Black vets nowadays, retirement's great, benefits are great. We achieved that. We've got equal opportunity. The VA administration, I'm a vet from the Air Force, you guys. By the way, if you didn't know that, there's benefits for them. But the military in America has come a long way. We made them recognize it. Whether it's gays now, whether it's transsexuals now. Remember before, niggas wasn't even in. Or we were separate. Think about that. Think about that, you guys. And if you wonder, in the Philippines, by the way, there's a lot of old Black military vets here, because after the war, they fought it. They didn't go back home. They didn't want to deal with the racism, so they stayed in the Philippines. They stayed in Asia, and that's why there's so many Black older people abroad. If you don't leave America and you're stuck in America, you haven't left the plantation yet, then you don't know this, but they're all. And the next one, the Black vote, you guys know this, and I'm going to show this graphic up here too as well. Democrats, would not be without the Black vote. And I showed you those pictures before about Black folks standing in line to vote. Understand, that's a real thing, people. But now the Black vote, you guys, is so huge. And I know now, I'm preaching to the choir, you guys have all figured this out since the election, because you know that without Black folks, Democrats would not have won. It's not just the Black vote, the Black organization, the Black woman who organized. The Black woman is the power. They got us out to vote. Even military, by the way, that are abroad, all the absentee ballots that everyone complains about, those are folks like me. Those are folks like my sisters. They're in the military, that are traveling, diplomats, or things like that. People remember churches, people that are doing, religious, or philanthropic, or NGOs, things like that. Those folks vote absentee. So we were trying to really market to them, say, you guys, 8.7 million of us. That's bigger than most cities in the States. We can really turn this thing around. And then in the day, a lot of black folks didn't realize the organization is the power. Number 13, you guys, oh my God. Many black folks don't think about this because it's just not our thing. You don't really see it. You don't really hear about it. But you know, we have had black astronauts. Negroes have been on the moon or wherever the hell they went. Think about that for a second. Black Americans, not black Africans, not black Australians, not black Asians. Black Americans have been in space. Just understand 100 years from now what that means. Let me give you a name, Dr. Mae Jemison. She said, never be limited by other people's limited imaginations. Do not let their imaginations limit what you think that you can do, because understand this, you may not think about it in your day-to-day life, but when the history shows, as it will, we have been in space, black Americans. Number 14, you guys, this is kind of a crazy one, but it's new. So I threw it on here. And of course, I couldn't have dreadlocks back in the day, you guys. If you've known me, my career, I'm celebrating 20 years doing business development, marketing, publishing magazines, living my life as an entrepreneur. I've been doing that since I was in elementary school, but been formally doing it as a company for 20 plus years. I couldn't have hair like this. I couldn't have facial hair. I was in the Air Force. They cut all your hair off and they trim your face and you're completely smooth. You can't have any beard. Because I'm black and I had little bumps here, they allowed me to have a little 5 o'clock shadow sometimes. Nowadays, be proud of the Crown Act. Black America, as usual. The Crown Act, if you guys don't know this, in America there's a new law that does not allow anyone to discriminate against your hair. It's called the Crown Act. If you guys are in the Philippines, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys have dreadlocks. You know how they discriminate against you. The same with tattoos. You know, around the world they discriminate against, not just America, y'all. Black folks in America, they discriminate much harder on dreadlocks and natural hair around the world than they do in America. I don't mean for black folks. I mean Filipinos who have dreadlocks. But now there's a law in place to keep them from discriminating against dreadlocks. And that doesn't say black people. That means if you're white with dreadlocks, if you're Filipino or Asian with dreadlocks, it's not just dreadlocks, whatever your crown is. My point is, in America, we have spent fortunes. We built entire industries on making our hair look okay for white folks. 15, you guys, global BLM support in 2020. I mentioned it before, but I want to say it here again. Be proud. My parents cried when they saw that. They couldn't imagine that there was actually a situation, a time when now black America was not alone in their freaking murderous, stressful discrimination situations. I've had white folks cry with me because everyone is not a racist. Every white person isn't a racist. Every white person doesn't even discriminate. Some white folks love niggas, but that's not the ones you hear about. Those aren't the ones who are loud and speak out. Those aren't the ones who riot. But until now, when Black Lives Matter globally, when they saw that, I'm telling you, y'all, here in Asia, white folks were scared. They saw these folks protest in Korea. They gave millions to Black Lives Matter. It's a group in Korea, by the way, y'all. It's a group of girls, by the way. And there's also a boys group as well. To see Koreans protesting Black Lives Matter, tell me we haven't come a long way. Number 16, you guys, global success of blacks around the world. Be proud, you guys. If you don't know this, that's why they do in Freedom Magazine. Blacks around the world are very successful. And success around the world is not about bling bling and showing off and status. You don't need to kill somebody in a gang to be successful in Paris. You don't need to spend all your damn money on Gucci's and Prada and bling bling to be successful in Asia. You don't need it. You don't need to have a chip on your shoulder every day walking down the street when you're around the world. Typically, I don't even care if it's Norway, Germany, Russia. I don't care where the hell it is. If you can survive in America, I'm going to say it again because it's worth repeating, you can survive any damn where. Black success around the world is really huge. And let me put this caveat again. If you're rich and you're successful, if you're making over $80,000 a year in America, I ain't talking to you. Maybe. Depends. Because if you're gay, if you're single, if you're still broke, I'm talking to you. But around the world, the regular person is doing better. Just think about that. Number 17, you guys. Okay, Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. Okay, y'all. I know y'all don't care about this. I know I ain't no big deal to y'all. But I'll tell you this much. When it comes out, the $20 bill with Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill, it's worth more than the $20 bill without Harriet Tubman around the world when you convert it. People are collecting them around the world. And you know why? Because she's black, and blacks are everywhere. If you give someone a $20 bill, for example, here in Asia, and there's a lot of black Aitas here, that $20 bill with Harriet Tubman on that $20 bill is worth 1,000 of their money. That slave black old lady on that $20 bill, it's worth 1,000. But understand, globally, when they see that $20 bill, when you convert that, folks are proud. You should be proud too. 18, if a nation or GDP, and I said this before, so we're going to get into this a little bit better again here. If a nation or GDP is 15, we're 15th in the world. I want to just reiterate that. We're about done here, you guys. We're 15 around the world. I want to reiterate that again because I have it here again written in a different way. Specifically, Indonesia, South Korea, Denmark, Ghana, Saudi, all these places. We are richer together. Start seeing it. And remember, they have you focused because we were slaves. So they got you focused on the money. Economic value should be the focus. You know what I'm talking about. If you've never negotiated a salary because you're working hourly, or you have a job where they tell you, oh, I pay $15 an hour, or I pay $20 an hour, or here we pay this much per month, then you've never experienced this. But if you've experienced negotiating your salary, or negotiating your paycheck, or negotiating the deal, you know what the hell I'm talking about with economic value. So understand this, you guys. When you travel the world, and if you don't travel the world, they don't see necessarily what you make. They see your economic value. Another one, you guys. Be proud, you guys. Black slaves grew in America, y'all. Be proud of your growth. Be proud of your growth, y'all. This is where you came from. Be proud, y'all. Because you know what? That's how many Aborigines blacks, that's how many Asian blacks, they live in like that right now today. If you look at those people in that picture, if I told you that was Australia, you wouldn't know it was true or not. That's how they look. That's where they came from. That's what they're living like right now. So you guys be proud of where you came from. Understand that they can't hold you down. And if you can survive this crap in America, you can survive anywhere in the world. It's a fact. It's known, and it's something that they do not want you to understand. They don't want you to know what that means. They don't want you to get it. They don't want you to know any of that. They don't want you to see the fact that you came from this crap right here. So why can't you live in Australia? Why can't you can live anywhere you want? And now with COVID and racism, every company out there is trying to get you guys. So keep that in mind, you guys. The last thing I want to talk about right here, the last number 20, of the things we should be proud of, you guys, is the fact that when it comes down to it, you guys, Black history is American history. You should be proud of that. Do not sit up here and let them segregate and propagate and change things and diminish the value of things. Stop letting them do that to us, you guys. Because at the end of the day, Black history is American history. And people need to understand that. They need to really figure out, understand that Black folks, if you might hate niggas and you don't like us, you're racist, whatever it is. But if you travel the world, the NBA is loved because of what Black folks did in history to make it what it is today. So at the end of the day, this has been We Are Stronger Together, you guys. 20 things to be proud of, Black America. At the end of the day, Black history is American history. So you guys, Kareem Jackson live on the set. I love you very much. Thanks for watching till the end. You guys are amazing. I thank you for all the love. I thank you for the support. I thank our sponsors, outs.us, for supporting us as well. So you guys, thanks again. Remember, success is for everyone. That means it's for you also. Success is for you. Don't let them tell you anything else. Thanks for being here, you guys, and I will see you next time live on the set, Kareem Jackson, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.